Earth Talk. Oh, that's your. Never mind.
Thanks, Michael. Yes, and welcome. Middle Earth Talk Radio. I'm your host, Talk. And through the wonders of the internet and Google Talk, Google Plus Hangout. Thanks, Michael.
You're welcome.
We have Michael down in California, and I'm up here in Washington State. Say hello there, Michael.
Oh, hello there, Michael.
This is episode 44 of Middle Earth Talk. This is our second time trying out Google Hangout and a live broadcast. We have people in chat rooms for the irc.murph.com chat room, the onering.net chat room, and the geekandsundry.com chat rooms. Some of them are viewing through the YouTube live stream. And, of course,
you sounded like you were breathing helium.
So
we're late, folks, because of the technical difficulties. Apparently, Google Plus can't tell which account Hawk wants me to connect with, so I have to circle them all.
Yeah. We're still trying to get the hang of how Google Plus works with the Hangouts, and hasn't been perfectly smooth as just yet.
No, sir, it hasn't. It has not been perfectly smooth. It is not as smooth as an Android's behind Mr. Data. So how have you been?
I've been all right. Just did a few days of camping with the boys. We Thursday went to a rifle range and shot a Russian Mosin Nagant sniper rifle there.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's got some good kick to it. Then Friday did a very short bit of golfing, and then we got kicked off the golf course.
You don't need to elaborate on that.
Because we were too slow. Because they were beginners, they'd never golfed before, and they...
I could swear I just said you don't need to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so we were given our money back and asked to leave. We didn't hurt anything, but we were too slow because they had never golfed before, and it had been 20 years since I had.
And the golf course had never encountered people like you before.
What's that?
The golf course had never encountered people like you before.
So then we went down to Laser Quest, which laser tag thing, and did...
You know the real reason why they kicked you off the golf course, don't you?
No, why is that?
The other players couldn't get the balls high enough.
Oh. That's it. Start with the height jokes again, why don't you?
I'm just saying.
Then we went camping. We did some canoeing and fishing, and then some camping, and did s'mores and all that good stuff, and had a good time.
Well, good. Good. I'm glad you had a good time.
So, how about you? How was your week?
Busy. I've been building websites. And
yeah. Is that
things. I did write an article. I wrote an article for Tolkien fans.
Oh, good.
On SF Fandom. Okay, so like Michael Martinez wrote an article for Tolkien fans. This like really big news. Yeah. Okay. I write them all week long. I know. But this one's special. Okay, so
you tell.
I'm going to tell. If you give me a chance, it's my job to interrupt you. You're the interruptee. I'm the interruptor. So I sent you. How does this work? In the Google Plus chat, I sent you the link.
Yes, and I see it.
And does anybody else see it, or are they all just going to sit there and watch
it? It's chat, so anybody who joins the Google Plus chat room would see that. But if they're in the IRC, they're not going to see that.
Well, then just go to sffandom.com, folks, okay? So just go to the front page of sffandom.com, and you'll see Hobbitses and trailers and speculations, my precious. So I was inspired to write this article, this story, this commentary, because the onering.net carried a brief little article mentioning that someone had compared the first official Hobbit trailer with Hobbit trailer version 1.1, and they came up with 3 differences. And they didn't mention any of the differences that I came up with, so I thought there must be more than 3. Only I was pressed for time, so I didn't list all the differences that I... But being pressed for time, I found the time to speculate wildly and madly on all the scenes that I thought would be included in 3 movies. So that's why I ended with speculations.
Mm-hmm.
I have both the trailers in there. But one of the neat things about the second trailer is that they take the dwarf song and they just extend the music from that part on all the way to the end of the trailer. Whereas in the first trailer, they use Lord of the Rings music.
Now, you do know that Hangout has a feature where you can, like, we can go to a video and you can say, watch this video, and we can watch it together, and you can pause it and comment on it while we're watching it together.
No, I didn't know that. Why didn't you tell me that before we started this?
That's okay. I'm just letting you know for future reference.
That's okay. You are the interrupter, and I'm the fool. So you've made me look. There you go. We're doing our jobs, folks. Don't try this at home. We're not professionals. Well, he's more professional than I am. You actually have a career in broadcast entertainment.
Right. Well, I don't know about a career, but I did it for a few years, yes. It was a hobby.
So some people, that would be a career.
Okay.
I mean, there are people who have had lifelong professions that lasted less time than that.
True.
Poor people. All right, so you want to try and look at one of these trailers?
Take a look at what?
Well, you were boasting about Google Plus's...
Well, I don't know about boasting. I was mentioning.
I prefer Skype technology, even though Microsoft is trying to monetize it ad nauseam. But
yeah, the Skype is better quality video audio. I've definitely noticed that.
So I'm talking now, okay?
Yes.
And this part of the video is normal, I guess. I mean, there's Elijah, and there's Ian, Sir Ian. One of the two Sir Ians. I have to hold this button down or click once to toggle talking. Okay, so, this is like stuff. You see most of this.
How do you feel about the comedic level they're going for, at least?
I like it so far. Now, hold on here. Hold on. I'm going to back it up. I'm going to freeze it. Okay, so here we're in Bag End, right?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know where that is, but I think it's Mirkwood. Probably at the Enchanted Stream where they were shooting arrows. Maybe they're shooting at the White Hart. Or maybe he's trying to kill orcs. I have no idea. Okay, so that's back at Hobbiton, Bag End. Where do you think this is? It's been a while since you read the book, isn't it? Come on, man. They're all covered in cobwebs. This is where the spiders have captured them. Clearly.
But there's stairs and such.
I don't see any stairs.
Oh, you know what? Okay, see, I'm not seeing... This isn't working. I'm not seeing your video.
What are you saying?
Let's see if it works now. I think it just plays it as a link. Why isn't it... Yeah, so much for that idea.
Okay. Well...
So you're talking about when they're all covered in cobwebs is the part you're looking at right now.
Yeah, I've moved on. So this is how I put it delicately. Stupid, Google! Stupid!
Well, maybe we're just not doing it correctly. We'll have to experiment with that more later. Anyway, so the section where they're covered in cobwebs and such.
Well, okay. So I said they're about to sing for me now. I don't know about you. I froze it. What are you doing?
I can jump to whatever section.
Oh, forget it. I'm just getting out of this.
Okay.
I'm done with this.
All right.
I don't even know how to close this. Done. We're done.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'd ask a question. How did you feel about their level of, at least in the trailer, comic relief?
I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I like it. Okay? I have no problems with it. None whatsoever.
Okay.
And I am 127% Tolkien purist. Minus the 99% that's not.
Okay. So, I mean...
I thought that was so funny the first time around. Everybody go, well, I'm a Tolkien purist. They should do this, Whatever it was that they thought they should be doing, I would go, but that's not in the book. Or, it's like not in my version of the book or whatever.
Yeah.
So apparently a Tolkien purist is someone who makes up stuff. This is not in the books. I'm just saying.
Huh.
13 years later, we're still living with the legacy of Tolkien purism.
Well, the never-ending argument over what's canon and what isn't.
Well, cannon's a big long tube, and you fire things out of it. All right, so I don't suppose we can share web pages, screen share. What happens if I screen share?
Yeah, I don't know. The screen share lets you share what you're looking at, but other than that,
it wants to share everything but...
So, like, you know, I can do this, and I can choose share selected window. Now, oh, God, I've created an infinite loop of video. Oh, my goodness.
Really?
Look at that. Do you see it?
No, I don't.
Now you're shared. Okay. You didn't see mine where it was looping itself? Created a video feedback loop. There you go.
Oh, wow. That's like so fourth dimensional.
Because we're both sharing. Okay. Anyway.
Now stop that. All right. Can you see this?
Yes, I see it.
All right. You see that? All right. I think I've figured out how to game the system.
Woohoo!
But can you hear it? I can't hear it.
No, and actually, you know what? It's not showing the video. It shows you on the YouTube page, but the video is just blank.
All right. Can you see the video now?
Yes, now I see it.
I full screened it.
Really? It's only showing in... Okay, now it's, well, quasi.
It's fuzzy?
Like half page. Weird.
How's this?
Back to normal now.
All right.
Anyway.
Where do you think that shot is?
Were they right there in the woods?
Yes.
Seems a little bright for Mirkwood. Who?
Why? Why does it seem a little bright for Mirkwood?
I don't know. Think it would be darker. Other than that, Mirkwood?
Well, you know, they could be hunting in the Shire for all we know, but I was thinking, because in the book they fire arrows across the enchanted stream to try and hook the rope.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said earlier, it's been a while since you read this book.
I guess it has. About, I don't know, a couple of years.
Here we are with the cobwebs again. So I think this is the spiders, although I have no idea why Bilbo's holding a cameo there, but whatever. There's Balin's brother Dwalin.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
are they in the orc caves there?
That looks like it could be the Orc Town, doesn't it?
Either that or they're flashing back to working in the mines or something.
Working in the mines?
Well, when they were doing their...
This guy looks like he's about to give Gandalf a knock in the knee or something, you know? Could that beard look any more fake? It's not that the beard looks fake, it's that the angle just draws a sharp line right under his nose. So... And this looks like he's from Mongolia or something.
Yeah. You know what? That hat and everything reminds me of Conan the Barbarian when he meets up with who was the thief guy?
Subatai.
Subatai. Yes, he had kind of a hat and looked like that.
Food for wolves.
I can't just go running.
Okay, so I think this might be either Rivendell or Burns' house. I can't really be sure.
Allow me to introduce
but that chair will never make love again, that's for sure. Boom. Okay, so we're back in Hobbiton.
Yep.
And that's still all Hobbiton.
Yep.
He looks good. I like Thorin, you know.
Even though he's supposed to be, didn't we determine he's like 130, 160 years old?
Well, I don't know, but he looks like a guy you wouldn't want to mess with.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, keep going back to the Klingon.
Oh, forget the Klingon. He just looks like a guy you don't want to mess with. I love this song. This is a great song.
Yeah, it's too bad the audio doesn't share. I mean, I know what it is.
So, from this point forward, we're in the second trailer, okay?
Yeah.
The music is going to be this song all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other trailer, it's not.
Right.
So, you get to listen to about a minute of the song.
Now, you shared this through screen share, right?
Yes, sir, I did. I have to be careful about what I show you, because you might see that there's a countdown going on.
Be responsible for his fate.
Oh, the Mars landing. Yeah.
So there's another money shot. I don't know why they're writing Tony's in Rivendell.
Can you promise that I will come back?
No.
That's obviously where he's meeting Gollum. And
If you do, you will not be the same.
why they bounce back and forth
My
through the
name
story like this, I
is
don't know.
Bilbo Baggins.
So I don't think any of these scenes take place after Mirkwood. I could be mistaken. You know, like the scene where Feely or Keely or whoever that was is shooting in the woods. That could be like them hunting around the ruins of Dale for all we know. You know. So
Now, do you think they're going to include all of the riddles that were in the book, or will it just be a few of them?
why would they have to include any riddles from the book? Why can't they just make up their own? Peter likes to do that. Well, Peter likes to do that. So okay, so all right, this is not spoilage for those who are watching. This is not spoilage. This is the official Michael Martinez speculation on where Hobbit Part 1 ends. Okay, based on what we just saw here.
Right.
So I think that it's going to end with the encounter with Gollum. Although I'm hedging a little bit, and so here's where I officially think it ends, but it could go down into here a little bit. Do you see the cursor moving? Because if you don't, then you...
Not yet. No, it's... Okay, there we go. It just takes a little bit to update.
All right. So at number 11, I've highlighted this. This is my official... Here's where I think the first...
The encounter with Gollum.
Right. So...
Which should be fairly...
My hedging is that he might end the movie there.
Gandalf's arrival in Lothlorien.
Or Roscoe.
Wrong spell. Okay. Roscoe.
All right. So... I have no inside information. They didn't confer with me on these movies. So here's my first speculations on what would be included in the second movie. So notice how I emphasized first. That means that I'm reserving the right to change my mind.
Changes later. Right.
Okay. So I'm guessing they would start with the journey through Mirkwood until the encounter with the spiders, and then we go on, blah, blah, blah. They add some stuff, and then Smaug leaves the mountain. So I think those would be two really good dramatic scenes, right? In the first scene, he meets Gollum, gets the ring, gets away from Gollum, and escapes, and it's like, whoo, okay, another bad day done. Let's move on. And then they show the guys moving down. Whether they're going to show the eagles with the goblins in the trees and all that, I don't know. But
yeah.
I just think that getting away from Gollum in the Goblin Town is a good place to end the movie.
14 birds in little fir trees.
Okay, I'm hearing you multiple times.
Oops. Sorry. For some reason, Google Plus automatically unmutes my microphone.
Okay, so the second movie, I think it would be cool if it ends with Smaug erupting from the mountain, because you're going to have Bilbo's encounter with, I just think it would be a good way to end the second movie. And
then that leaves the whole Battle of Smaug, and then Battle of Five Armies, all that.
Yeah. So that's my speculation.
Okay.
And now, I'm going to try and turn off screen share.
There you go.
Is it off? Have I stopped sharing?
Yep, it's off. Yep, it switched back to normal video now.
I don't see me.
I see you every time you talk.
Really?
Yep.
I have no video.
I see you. Give it a minute. It takes sometimes a moment to read. Oh, now you have no video. Okay, now you're back.
What do you see now?
I see you. I see you.
Yes, that was not in the book. Okay, so I guess I'm just not going to see myself. I have no biofeedback.
Well, you were complaining about seeing yourself anyway, so...
Yes, but I know that people can still see me. Why are you beeping?
Somebody's using the microwave while I'm doing a show.
Yes, you have complete control. All right, so let's go to E-Online.
Okay.
And for some reason, Corey Olsen seems to have inveigled himself into the online world of Tolkien commentary, or else simply because people think of him as the Tolkien professor because of his very successful marketing campaign.
Yeah.
They just go, well, let's go talk to the Tolkien professor. So they got a quote from him, you know. It's totally natural to be skeptical, says Corey Olson, who teaches J.r.r. Tolkien in medieval literature at Washington College in Maryland. But what people have to realize is that Tolkien did a lot more work on this tale in the decades that followed the original novel release. Okay, so that's true, but that lot more work was mainly stuff that didn't make it into the book. So Peter can't use it. I don't know. It's, I think E-Online is just trying to milk it for all it's worth. So, have you seen this little tidbit?
Let's take a look.
I think we talked about this in an earlier episode, an actual audio episode, when we were still doing internet radio.
A graphic novel?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Why is it?
I don't know. No.
There we go. Okay. Interesting. So, by the way, Morrowdim in the OneRing.net chat room says that Morrowdim was speculating earlier this week, guessing roughly the same 3 movie breaks that you did. So you've got someone kind of seconding your guesses there.
Well, I apologize if it looks like I'm stealing someone's thunder because I didn't.
No. That's not what they're saying.
Right.
They're just in agreement with you.
That probably just jinxed the whole deal right there. You know, Peter will probably end with Rivendell or something in the first movie. If anybody can take 3 hours to drag a hobbit and some dwarves across Eriador, it's Peter Jackson.
So it's a graphic novel on, says The True Lord of the Rings. Okay. Huh.
And it's on iTunes. I could swear
I'm
we
not
talked
familiar
about
with Blue Water comics. Most of the ones I've seen that have been indie have been like Dark Horse and stuff.
I am almost positive that we talked about the Blue Water thing last year.
You may have mentioned it, but I'm just saying I'm just not familiar with that company itself.
Well, I'm not saying I'm familiar with the company beyond having seen 2 or 3 news tidbits. Okay, so it's really freaky. You know, I have like Hawk in a green shirt, a black box, and then Hawk in a green shirt. And
the black box would be you for some reason.
Well, the black box is me, but
I can see your video just fine.
Okay, so I can see my picture really big. Yes.
But if... Okay.
I'm not going to try and fix it because the last time I tried to fix something, it booted me out of the session.
Yeah.
And we don't want to give me the boot.
All right.
I mean,
no, not yet anyway.
Not yet, right.
So,
at any rate, I will be amused if somebody complains about my SF fandom article and says, well, that's just Martinez being speculative.
Well, that's what it says. This is speculation.
Yes, I often try to indicate in my writing that I'm being speculative, and people criticize me for being speculative.
So, yeah.
It's like, you know, apparently everybody else is allowed to speculate, but I'm not.
Huh.
I'm being held to a tougher, stricter standard. I don't know if it's higher. From my point of view, it might be lower, but that's beside the point. Okay, so enough whining and grousing and grousing.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to share, Tolkien related?
Not a whole lot other than just my own stuff. I did a lot more updates on the role-playing game system. Just cleaning up a lot. Was kind of going through the whole Dwarven section, trying to flesh that out. But no, not As I said, I spent most of this past week working with the kids and camping and doing the other activities. So unfortunately, no, I don't have any material ready.
Okay. Cool. I get some pretty good comments on the Middle Earth blog at zenite.org these
Good.
days.
That's a good source to use.
One of the most frequent commenters is a gentleman named Patrick Miles. I believe he teaches. He certainly writes like he teaches.
Mm-hmm.
And we got into this discussion. I can only encapsulate it because the comments go really long. One of my recent articles, hold on here, let me provide a little context here. So I wrote this article a few days ago. And we don't have to go through the article. Were Bard and his descendants also kings over Lake Town? And because I was so busy, Patrick left a comment, and I wasn't really able to respond to it. Well, he revisited that point that he had raised in this article, which is how large was the Kingdom of Dale's army? That's total Michael Martinez speculation. Okay,
Sure,
it's so
sure.
speculative. I don't think I even used the word speculation. It's like off the chart. I just drew numbers out of the air. I said, well, if we have 5 over here, let's go with 5 over here.
Yeah.
Okay? So, the question is, when did the kings of Dale become kings, and of what were they kings? So, were they kings subject to the authority of the kings under the mountain? And I didn't really, I haven't really batted it back and forth too much with Patrick because I just, like I said, I've been very busy. I quoted a couple of things, and I see where he's coming from, because you can have the king of a tribe where the tribe moves into somebody else's territory, and the king is not the king of that territory. And so he's wondering if Tolkien isn't using the language in a very subtle way here. So I'm just saying we get some interesting, what I think are some interesting comments on the blog.
And that's on your middleearth.zenite.org discussion there.
Yes.
On looks like August 2nd.
Well, could be the 4th, 2nd, 4th. I don't know. I've got.
And third. Looks like 2nd and 3rd. The Army was on August 3rd discussion. Okay.
Let's see discussion.
So one thing I've noticed a problem. I'm going to need you to send me all the links you send me because I can't find a way to save the links that you post in the chat.
Can't you click on them?
Yeah, I can load them in a tab, but I don't have a way to so for example, in Skype, everything gets saved in a chat log.
Right, but if you load them in a tab, they're in your browser
save
history.
the log. Yeah, if I click on them, as long as I click on them. But
right,
sometimes when I click on them, it's
click on them,
me.
and then you've got them.
Well, except the last 2 times I clicked on it, kicked me out of Google+.
You're kidding me. Okay, so you got 2 Google Plus sessions there, and you're going to get kicked out of both of them. If
all right, I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. See if it does it again. Maybe not. Maybe it'll recover this time.
Maybe, but I wouldn't click on it in the session that initiated the Hangout. I would click on it in the invited session.
Well, the good thing is, that even though I died in the one that initiated, I was able to reconnect with the other one. So the good thing is it does reconnect when it drops. So that always works. As long as one person stays in the Hangout continues.
All right. So do you need me to send you these links or not?
I'll see if this worked. I'll let you know if I do.
Okay.
So I didn't post anything for last week's
show. To those people who think we look like really pathetic geeks, it's Google's fault. The pathetic geeks are on Google, okay? I'm just saying. We're doing our part. They're not doing theirs. Company makes $12 billion a quarter, and they can't afford it.
Last week we were goofing around with the little icon things that, the crowns and stuff. But this week we're actually dealing with distraction of the technology itself, and that's definitely not helping our show at all here.
Oh, you're starting to agree with me. We're going back to Skype.
Well, if this keeps up, if this doesn't get better, yeah. I mean, I like that we're able to do a live broadcast.
I am the king.
But
can you see me on your little crown? Because I can't see anything but a black screen.
Yeah, but I can see you. You've got the crown up again. You're a little turtle again. So, but I did notice, and I'll have to check the latest, but at least we only had 4 votes before, but there were 4 people who'd said on the website they wanted more of the video and the live broadcast.
Okay, I'm just going to sit here and stare into the camera from now on, folks. Okay, just this is what you're going to see in Middle Earth Talk YouTube.
You're going to do a little,
there's a
take a little breather like an airplane.
This is what you're going to get because you voted for it, okay? I'm going to look at you with one eye. I'm going to look at you with the other eye, okay? That's because this is what you folks want. There you go. The opinions expressed on the show do not represent the point of views of anybody with any names related or signified by Tolkien or using Tolkien as a name, a trademark, or anything like Hawk does the disclaimer. I have no idea. I disclaim.
The opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the Inland Empire Tolkien Society, DBA, Middle-earth Talk Radio, Middle-earth Radio, and is not endorsed or approved by any of the Tolkien copyright or trademark holders, including but not limited to Middle-earth Enterprises, a Saul Zantz Company, DBA, Iron Crown Enterprises. Well, they're long since gone, but anyway.
Well, they came back, I thought.
Decipher, Cubicle 7, Sophisticated Games, the Tolkien Estate, Tolkien Enterprises, or any of the other myriad of IP, intellectual property.
Weta Limited, Warner Brothers.
So yeah, we have 4 votes saying yes, more video shows.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay.
Saying more audio. So.
Yeah, I like the more audio.
You're breaking up, Captain.
Yes, I know I'm breaking. You're breaking up too.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to switch again.
Okay, you're switching. I think we've probably milked this episode for about...
Yeah, no, this is lame. I'll have to edit the heck out of this. We'll probably have like a 15-minute show.
You saw it here live, folks.
And, you know, we didn't really have much interaction in the chat room this time other than...
There isn't much news to discuss. You know, our format has been, you know, let's find 7 or 8 articles to talk about. And there's nothing going on except everybody is blathering about Peter Jackson is making 3 Hobbit movies.
Right, yeah, everybody just goes on about that, yeah.
So, okay, we got the message. Somebody make some news. Somebody sue somebody or something. Give us something to talk about.
Well, I don't know if I told you that the One Ring role-playing game people just announced some more pre-release stuff.
No, you didn't tell me that.
Okay. Let me find that real quick.
I have 50 Tolkien family members following me on Twitter, and they don't do anything.
Huh. That's too bad.
Maybe it's a little less than 50, but... I check out their accounts every now and then, and I don't know. It's nice to be followed by people named Tolkien who probably share some relationship in there somewhere.
Right.
I actually know how they fit into the family tree. It's just they're Hillary's descendants. And they're actually accomplished people, you know, writers and artists.
Right, and that maybe just it is they're so busy. They've announced even more stuff from 2 days ago.
As we've
been waiting for this stuff forever. They've got a new Lore Master screen, finally. You know, I made my own last year. And the Lake Town source book. And then previously what they had made available on pre-order is, well, first of all, they made it available. This was one of my number one pet peeves about role-playing games of the last 15 years, is they've had horrible indexes and tables of contents. if they even had one, they've been really anemic. And the One Ring role-playing game was the same issue where trying to find stuff, it wasn't written intuitively in order for creating a character, so that's one of my pet peeves. And B, trying to find it was a pain in the rear because the index was missing. So they made an index available as a PDF just back on July 12th, right as we were about to start Tolkien Moot. So I printed that out, and that helped a lot. Well, now they offer it as a download bundle as well as a physical copy. And they have some other content coming, and it's not on their page now.
They're following in J.r.r. Tolkien's footsteps. You know, he didn't come out with an index first either.
Indeed. But anyway, yeah, so they've just announced on the 2nd that they've got a Lore Master screen coming out and a Lake Town source book coming out.
You know, I don't believe there's an indexed edition of The Hobbit.
Really?
I don't think I've ever seen a Hobbit with an index. The closest I can come is John Ratliff's book.
Yeah, John Ratliff's. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that would probably be.
And that's like overkill.
All over the place.
Yeah. So it's very blurry, but there it is. The history of the Hobbit. How many? Wait a minute. Why do you have 3 books in there?
Because one is the Hobbit itself.
Well, look and see if there's an index in it. Okay, I didn't buy the 3-book set. I bought the 2-book set.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it doesn't have an index. So the index entirely with his.
So.
Yeah, his is heavily indexed.
Yeah. So Wayne Hammond and Christina Skull, they need to write to Christopher and say, hey, Christopher, we could use some more money. Why don't you let us index the Hobbit? You know. I would love to have a Hobbit index. You know, people would probably think it'd be very short, but
yeah.
That would be helpful. You have no idea what I have to do when I go through these books. You can't actually use the Lord of the Rings index. It sucks. It's a terrible index.
Yeah, I mean, really the key is to have some OCR, and they're less than perfect, but, you know, text versions that you can keyword search and such. But, yeah, it's definitely a challenge. You know, part of what helps is the history of Middle-earth stuff. Sometimes some of those indexes refer to the Lord of the Rings and give you references there, but if you don't have the same version, then, you know, it doesn't help you find it as much.
People stare at me in shock when I tell them I've read the Lord of the Rings over 300 times. You know, they think like you're some sort of a psycho, you know. And it's not that I set out to read the Lord of the Rings 300 times. It's that because the indexing sucks, if you're trying to find something, you have to start at page 1 and just flip through it and go through it, and you have to scan. You can't just, you know, like go, oh, here's page 54. I read that 2 weeks ago. You know, it's like, you have to scan the entire page, and so, you know, there are parts of the Lord of the Rings that are indelibly etched in my mind.
Right.
Simply because I've read them so many times.
Well, it'll be interesting to see with this One Ring RPG. So they're of course releasing it initially at Gen Con, and then they'll make it available for distribution later. It's a guide to Lake Town, its inhabitants and culture. More information on the Long Marshes and the creatures dwelling within. New Fellowship Phase activities and a new playable culture, the Men of the Lake. Also included is a heavy-duty Lore Master. What's that?
It's a very astute choice.
It's a what choice?
Astute. A-S-T-U.
What's an astute choice?
Lake Town.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, so far, all of the One Ring is just in Wilderland. It covers basically, it's just the content of the show.
And where is the Hobbit set?
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's clearly why they did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just complimenting them on their astuteness.
Oh, okay. A lot better than what Decipher did and being all over the place.
I don't know.
See how it goes. And this source book approach is much more what Iron Crown Enterprises did, and
we saw how that turned out.
Well, they had it for 19 years or so, 17 years. They had the license, and it wasn't until the movies were coming out that, that stuff, shenanigans happened. That wasn't the fault of the content. Even though the content was flawed, it was getting better. They were starting on their third version.
Yes, I know.
It was getting better and better. But
and none of that material has yet to surface.
Some of it did.
Well, not much, because
some of it.
I'm telling you,
the stuff that was approved but not released is out there.
Which stuff was that?
There was an adventure and a couple of source books. I forget their names right now. I'd have to look at my list.
Because the guys that were working on Linden and the Wandering Companies, they contacted me. And we were in discussions when that license got pulled.
Mm-hmm.
That was some of the most amazing material I'd ever seen. It was in-depth. I mean, I didn't necessarily agree with all of it, but who cares? My opinion's no better than anybody else's. But
the Yahoo fan.
What?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the Yahoo fan modules people have continued most of that work.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. They're continuing the Iron Crown Enterprises based work as Yahoo fan modules. They have a ton of content.
How does one get a Yahoo fan module?
It's you join them through a Yahoo group thing. With
Yahoo. Like a secret password or something? Or?
No, you just ask to join. Just do a quick search for Yahoo fan modules. You'll find their group and you can join.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
They're very active. Thomas Morwinski's really active there. There's been a lot of... I've never been able to keep up with it. The list is so busy, I've just not been able to keep up with it. And a lot of it is way out there stuff. I mean, they go out and cover the eastern lands and other areas, but they put in a lot of effort and a lot of detail. And Thomas Morwinski is part of that group, too.
Apparently it's a very active group.
It is very active and very large, a lot of downloads. So lots of maps and source material. It builds on the Iron Crown Enterprises material, so it really, gets pretty. They try to fit it more with the Pete Fenlon maps, which they have their issues, but the hope is that they'll use more of the Morwinski maps, as we talked about back in Mirkwood 3, and make that more the center. And I've tried to do that with the last few modules. When I do a module, I've tried to place them on the Morwinski map and then zoom in on the Morwinski map. And I still have not gotten a hold of a high-res version, by the way. My apologies.
He said that was the high-res version.
Yeah, but it's not high-res enough. As soon as you zoom in, it gets pretty blocky. So I think that's all he has. I think it was just...
I've actually used a couple of scans of those maps for the Middle-earth articles.
Yep.
But it's hard, as you say, to get useful stuff at that zoom in.
Yeah, because it gets blocky. But I've used his maps, like for my logo on the ARPG, the background logo is his map, but I colorized it briefly. And so I'm trying to, make sure it's out there, and of course always give full credit to his team for doing that. So for people who want to see more of those maps and discussion on them, if you go to the tolkienmoot.org website, Mirkwood 3, a.k.a. Tolkien Moot 2008, 7, Tolkien Moot 2008, 7, which...
Make up your mind, was it 8 or 7?
D. Thomas's speech, he talks all about how the maps developed and the changes made. And, of course, Other Minds magazine, you can download the maps and detailed discussion. So at that point, we should probably wrap it up unless you have anything else, Michael. That would be a negatory head shake. Okay. Well, we definitely stumbled on the technology here this time. I think last week actually went smoother than this time, even though last time we were goofier. I think we had fewer technical.
It was the screen sharing.
Yeah, we should try to practice that before the next show. See if we can figure out how to make use of.
Sure, send me a calendar invite, because that's the only way I can fit you into my schedule, man.
Yeah. We'll try to figure something out before the next show. One other question is, would you be able to do something at noon instead of 7 p.m. on a Sunday? Reason being is the folks in Finland said they really want to be able to participate, but right now it's 3 in the morning for them.
I can give it a try.
If you think it's a problem, just say so. But I said I promised I'd let you know about that.
No, we try for noon next week.
They said if we do noon, it would be about 10 p.m. for them, and they'd be willing to be up for that.
Okay. So we can give it a shot.
Okay.
We'll give it the old Hobbit try.
What's that?
We'll give it the old Hobbit try.
All right, then. So I guess we'll do the next episode then at Sunday at noon next week?
Sunday at noon next week.
All right, so that's when we'll do next broadcast. Hopefully between now and then, I'm going to be on the road a lot. Actually, I take that back. It can't be next week. I'm going to be on the road. Well, unless you want me to do one from the road.
Dude, this is totally up to you, okay? It's your show.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it from the road. So
okay, this will be interesting.
I won't have all the decor here and everything, but I'm on my laptop right now, and nothing's hooked up to it, so, and we're using my cell phone, so why not?
Why not?
I'll be in Seattle, and
there are plenty of Starbucks there.
Yeah. All right, so let's plan on Sunday Pacific time at noon next week for the next broadcast. And hopefully between now and then, you and I can squeeze in a quick little test, or you can fiddle around, or I'll fiddle around, figure out how to do the YouTube sharing as well as the screen. Oh, I mean, you did the screen sharing, that worked. But we need to figure out how to do YouTube share and be able to talk while it plays and see if we can get audio to work. I don't even know if that's an option. It just may not be a feature that works. But that would be nice if we could be watching a clip and you and I commenting on it as it played. I think that would help, or anybody. And by the way, other people are welcome to join this. If you send a request to tolkienscholars at Gmail, or sorry, it's a Tolkien. I don't even know which account I'm on.
I told you, quit changing accounts, man.
That's too many. Crap. Sorry. Well, it doesn't even show me. Let's see. Who am I?
Well,
it's Tolkien Scholars. So Tolkien Scholars, all one word, at Gmail. That is the account we're using for this broadcast, and this is what links to the youtube.com/Middle-earth Radio. And so if people join the circle, then I can send the invites, and they can join this chat room and be able to be more actively, directly engaged, to be able to see the links of that Michael's posting that we're sharing, and more directly interact with us in the show. So give that a shot, folks. If you have a Gmail account, just make sure you enable your Google Plus and join our Hangout. So, Michael, thank you once again. We had some stumbling there, but I appreciate being such a good sport once again. And the rest of you watching and listening, wherever you may be well. Namaste.
Lift your voices to the air. Sing of the tears of the moon. Sing of the scorn of the sun. Sing of the scorn of the sun. Fill the mountains with peace, the valleys with sanctuary. Dwell evermore in the shadow of life, watching over us all, watching over us all. meant to